A state official in New York State is facing charges for shooting a black DoorDash driver in the back as he was running away. John J. Reilly III is being charged with first-degree assault, criminal possession of a firearm, and second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. On May 2nd, around 9:50 p.m., a DoorDash driver who was black was trying to make a last delivery. Okay, he got lost, which happens. After losing his GPS capability, he had stopped at several homes to ask residents for directions so that he could finish his DoorDash order. Okay, so now I've done that before. I have stopped and asked people for directions, or I have asked people for help, sometimes late at night. I mean, one time I remember coming home from work in my car and it threw the alternator belt. Okay, I had to stop and ask for help because my car was just running out of battery and it would shut off. So yeah, I had to stop and ask for help. It was late in the winter time and it was dark. So I needed my headlights. Okay, so I had to stop and I had to ask for help. Thankfully, I was never shot, but I'm also not black. Okay, so that's really the important factor here. Okay, if I were black, I probably would be dead, or at least injured, or something terrible would have happened. Okay, that's the reality. Now, in doorbell surveillance video obtained by News 12 Westchester, the victim is seen standing on the porch of one home saying, quote, "I have DoorDash. My phone is broken. I need help." Police say that Reilly told the DoorDash driver to get off his property before firing multiple shots at the victim as he attempted to leave in his vehicle, striking the victim once in the back, causing serious physical injury. Dude did not even give the driver a proper chance to get off his property before just going into rapid fire mode. I mean, that, like, what's going through this person's mind as he's just sitting there, spray and pray, okay, for a DoorDash driver that happened to be black on his property. I mean, that's insane. An Orange County spokesperson told the New York Times the victim required emergency surgery for injuries that are serious, but not at this time expected to be fatal. Thank goodness for that. I mean, look, the man was just trying to do his job, and he gets shot at. According to news outlets, the 24-year-old man whose information identity is not public, he had recently moved to a neighboring town from West Africa, speaks French, and was studying English at NY, Orange in Middleton. He had been working for DoorDash for about a month, so it kind of makes sense that he got lost. Okay, yes, he would get lost because he doesn't know the area very well. That's completely understandable. All right. Now, he did stop at our house, one homeowner told News 12. "I thought maybe my wife ordered DoorDash. He didn't seem to speak good English," on the account of being from West Africa. Now, the victim's family said that his phone had died before the shooting, so he had driven himself to a gas station to charge it and to call the police after being shot. A store clerk then called the police, but the victim left and drove himself home, where first responders met him. From there, they took him to the hospital. All right. As for Reilly, he was elected to highway superintendent for the town of Chester back in 2021. Police say that he is also a federally licensed firearms dealer because, of course, he is. State police say that the DoorDash driver was in the wrong place at the wrong time and are investigating whether or not the shooting qualifies as a hate crime, according to News 12 Westchester. New York State Police Captain Joseph Kolick told WABC that, quote, "There's nothing to indicate that the victim had any nefarious intentions. He was just out there doing his job, trying to make a food delivery." Yes, but you know what? The racists do not care. They see a black person, and it's like the fear and hatred just takes over. I mean, this is very similar to a 2023 shooting in Hebron, New York, where a 66-year-old homeowner opened fire and fatally shot a 20-year-old passenger in a car that had mistakenly entered his driveway. Once again, I have turned around in people's driveways before. I have not been shot. Not been shot at. Nobody cared. All right? But apparently, do that if you're black or minority and you're in one of these areas where apparently there's a lot of guns. Well, I mean, apparently that's what happens now. Okay? Now, you also had Ralph Yarl, by the way, who was a black teenager who was shot twice by an 86-year-old named Andrew Lester. Ralph Yarl's crime was going to the wrong home while trying to pick up his younger siblings in Kansas City. Yes, which is not really a crime here. Not really a crime. I feel like, though, these incidences, these situations are a result of the constant social media, local news, fear-mongering about crime. Now, why do I say that? What about the racism, right? Well, the thing is these news reports always tend to link back to black people or immigrants as people who are doing the crime. This man, this DoorDash driver, was both a black immigrant. And so, yeah, like pretty much the worst combination that you could be in this country. It'd be worse, even worse if he was, if they were a trans person. Okay, imagine trans black and an immigrant. Oh my God, in America, oh boy. I mean, that's what's going on. Okay, so yes, we live in a country where we have deeply racist people that have lots of guns. They will shoot you for making the mistake of coming to their door. I wish this was not the case. But here we are. It is not safe for you if you're a minority, if you're an immigrant in this country anymore. And again, it is because we have a huge problem. It goes beyond Donald Trump. It goes beyond the Republican Party. It really has to do a lot with the culture that we have. The culture of fear, the culture of hatred, the culture of racism that is prevalent in our society, the fears of immigrants, fears of black people that are scaring the crap out of suburban white people. I wish I knew how to solve this problem, but what I can do, the only thing that I feel like I can do, is to continue to bring awareness to it so that, I don't know, maybe some people can realize that, hey, it turns out that these black DoorDash drivers are just regular people trying to get by, and that, maybe we shouldn't shoot them. It seems like such a ridiculous thing to ask that maybe we don't shoot random people for coming up to our door. But then I forget, oh, right, I live in America where shooting people is apparently normal. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.